And we're live. Sports program on TSPN. This is a different occasion. Different occasion here because this is a Sunday show before NFL kickoff. We had a busy day yesterday. So, well, not together, sadly, but
I frickin' wish.
me too. We each had
I
it
wish
separately.
I wish we were getting busy all day yesterday.
Heck yeah, scissoring.
I just wanted to be there so you could just drink a couple beers and then hold me like a baby.
Hold me like a baby. I was knew you were gonna say it, and I'm glad you did.
Not bad about it.
Yesterday,
Anyway.
so Bree is doing a really cool little art installment, and she needed an assistant to help her carry stuff around. And I recently have asked her if I could assist her more on her art stuff because it's something that I am interested in, as I am not an artist, but I like drawing and doing things. So I've recently asked her if I could be a part of it, and so I did get to yesterday, so that's what I was doing all day yesterday morning. And then I played video games, bruh.
And then you were like, your art is the greatest art of all the art.
Oh, that's good. I'm hearing it real quick, and I'm going to turn on this air conditioner because it's not blazing hot yet. 9 o'clock. That's what's nice about doing a show right now.
I know, right before kickoff. Well, it's 10 o'clock here. And by the way, being in mountain time and getting to not have to worry about games starting until 11 o'clock, one, saved my fantasy football career because I can tinker in the morning.
Oh, nice.
Two, I can make sure that my pick'em is still good in case injuries or whatever. Mark Andrews is going to play. Anyone who is playing fantasy football, don't even worry about the app, baby. I got you. Mark Andrews is healthy. He's playing. Do that air conditioner thing if you need.
I will. Yeah, I got it.
I'll just keep talking probably. The other big one for me is that I had Antonio Brown on 2 teams. So
just sounds a little noisy.
Deciding when to cut Antonio Brown off your fantasy team
is
the hardest thing to do. Because someone else could pick him up, and then you're like, well, he has value in it. But I finally had to cut ties with him today.
Yep.
I cut ties all the way across the board.
You're not the only one.
Antonio Brown on any of my team. I did what I had to do.
Everyone's cut ties with him now. That's the thing.
So, I mean, and he tweeted this morning or last night, I don't know when he did, but he's done with football.
Oh,
he
yeah.
He blames Ben Roethlisberger.
Uh-huh. And Robert Kraft.
And Robert Kraft. It's everyone else's fault.
Look, those are different situations, though. So I don't want to defend. I don't want to defend Big Ben Roethlisberger and what he allegedly did or didn't do in forever ago, but also the Patriots are in a different position than the Steelers were. I mean, they just picked up Antonio Brown. This stuff just came out. They haven't paid him any money yet. I mean, it's easier just to go never mind.
Yeah, I mean, they need to get out of paying him that money. That's the big thing. Now we got a money battle, and I think they'll be able to get out of paying him anything. I know some of it was guaranteed, but there has to be a line there. The dude only played 1 game. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if anyone ever picks him up. I know he's just being a diva and saying he's done with football. He's not.
No.
Anyways, we can move on from that.
Somebody will want him.
Someone sadly will want him. He's
not
too
this
talented.
year. Probably.
I would stay away from him until this is all resolved. End of the day, I don't see him getting in any trouble.
I don't either. I'd wait, though.
I do see the allegations costing him the season. And if you're him, why, if you know you're going to probably end up getting away with whatever you did wrong, why send threatening text messages or have other people do it for you?
Well, it's because he's stupid.
He is dumb. He's so dumb and entitled that he doesn't know what he can and can't get away with anymore. He's got that God complex, right?
Yeah.
He's just pushing it over and over and over again. Anyways, let's talk about the game real quick that already happened. Thursday night, I think me and you both had the Jags picked during the day and both changed to the Titans before the game started.
Uh-huh.
That's accurate?
Well, yeah, because we literally made a joke during the week that, well, first off, we joked on last show. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take the Jaguars, and you're like, oh, you're so sure in Gardner Minshew, and I'm like, yep. And then I left the Jaguars as my pick for that game for the entire week. The entire week.
Yeah. So the thing is I have faith in both defenses, to be honest. And I have liked the progression of Henry in the offense, and I thought Mariota got thrown under the bus. Yes, he missed a couple easy touchdown throws, but he got sacked 9 times. I am not going to blame everything on him. He threw for 300 yards,
Yeah.
but it seems like the media created that story instantly. Minshew's the hero. Mariota is the veteran with all the accolades, not living up to it. And here's this like walk-on who comes in
Sure.
and outshines him. Gardner Minshew threw for 100 less yards.
Uh-huh.
Now the thing is it shows in the NFL. It's not about the stat line, right?
Right.
It's about making big throws at big times, and man, Gardner Minshew does that in spades.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Also, one of the other reasons why I did switch though too was because of all the Jalen Ramsey noise too. I was just like, man, I don't know about that locker room right now. Like, it was like one of those things where it's like, man, it's kind of a messy locker room right now. Jalen Ramsey wants out, and
Well, so for me, I actually that made me almost want to switch back, and here's why. Because the guy is trying to get traded, and they even said before the game on, I believe it was like NFL Network, they're like, he can't play bad now. He has to go out there and absolutely deliver because it's his trade value, and the team needs him to. And they brought up a good point. What he does for a defense is when he locks down whoever he's guarding, it allows the rest of the defense to do whatever they want. They can just go in there and just do whatever they want. It's like Richard Sherman a few years ago. He locks down his side of the field.
Yeah.
Then the Seattle Seahawks defense got to get creative. And this is like that tenfold. This is more actually similar to what's his name? The guy the Jets used to have. What's his name? Starts with an R. I just had it.
Uh-oh.
Revis.
Oh.
Revis Island. It's very similar to that. It let the Jets just absolutely do whatever they wanted on defense because he's going to shut one person completely out of the game. Yeah. So, and now it looks like Jags ownership does want to pay him out of nowhere. So that'll be an interesting situation. I think it'll be back and forth for a couple more weeks.
Well, hopefully with them winning that game and Gardner looking so good, maybe Jalen Ramsey will change his stripes a little bit too. I mean, maybe he'll, it's hard to want to be on a losing team too, and if it looks grim, and last season was so grim, so you never know.
You never know.
So should we do some pick'ems?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get after it.
All right. First game, the Falcons at the Colts in Indianapolis. Jacoby Brissett looks pretty good. The Falcons are still iffy for me. I'm gonna go with the Colts.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all for that pick.
I couldn't do it on this one, man.
I do want to say that whoever that minister guy who won week 1 also tied for the lead in week 2, so we are getting our butts rocked.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, he is at 99.8%. So shout out to him.
And also
shout out to Rachel. Shout out to Andy King.
Also shout out to Patrick and the other people who chose the Jaguars for Thursday night.
Yeah, there are some people who are already hot to trot on that pick.
Yeah.
Good for them. I like Jacoby Brissett at home as well. One thing I don't like, because what's been missing from the Falcons is a running game. And the Colts defense cannot stop the run at all.
No.
So if this is the game where we finally get to eat free and Freeman comes in and has a good game, I think Ito Smith's going to surpass him this season and by week 6. So if you play fantasy football, get Ito Smith. Dude averages like 6.6 yards a carry. That won't happen as a starter, but that's
do we know if T.Y. Hilton's playing too?
He should be.
He should be. Okay. I know he's like question.
Colts at home. I mean, they've even looked good on the road, but I'm not going to pick against my team. And honestly, it's hard to because there was flashes of brilliance in that Eagles game. It's just there was also 3 interceptions by Matt Ryan. He cleans that up. They're going to have a much better outing. I'm going with the Falcons on the road.
Love it. Take your team, baby.
Caca.
Bengals at the Bills. Clear
one.
choice for me. Honestly, I just think the Bills have looked good. I like this season for them so far. It's been fun to watch Josh Allen playing well, and I mean 2 games. Now where my question is I just don't think the Bengals are as. I mean, like week 1 they looked good, week 2 they looked bad. So that's a tough team to really choose right now. I'm gonna go with the Bills based on being at home and a little more consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I like some of the Bengals offensive players a lot. I've never been an Andy Dalton hater. I don't think I ever will be. I think he is a
Nah,
more than a game manager.
I
The
love
guy can
Dalton.
throw the ball around the field. But Buffalo's defense is very good.
Yes, they are.
Not a, I believe they have at least one banged up rookie running back. Frank Gore seems to be doing just fine without him.
Yeah.
Maybe Yeldon will step in as that number 2. Also, they found a connection with downtown John Brown.
Yep.
Last week, Allen didn't turn the ball over, and it showed how much better that team can look when that happens. If he is a little more safe this week, they have a great chance to go in and absolutely dominate this game. I'm also taking the Buffalo Bills.
All right. The Dolphins are going to Dallas this week so that Dallas can do whatever they want to.
They're going to pick up every one of their players and just hold them like a baby.
I do want to give you a shout out on on what you said on Instagram to me, which is still hilarious. And then you followed it up with another hilarious thing on Facebook, because that's where my things post to. So I sent you that link that Rosen is starting this week, the Rosen one.
The Rosen
you
one.
said, he said, my baby boy, he's gonna get eaten. It part 3, and then that posted to Facebook, and then you commented and said all passes float down here. Oh man, just on fire with that one. I'm gonna take the Cowboys obviously in that game, but now this game is interesting to me. Now it is. Now I want to see what happens.
Yeah, this is what we wanted at the beginning of the year. This is why the Dolphins were originally going to compete with the Jets and the Raiders as our team. And honestly, the Bills. I'd say we're probably deep down rooting for all 4 of those teams.
Yeah, we
are. Somewhere inside of us.
Interestingly enough, all counterparts to the Patriots. So, interestingly enough, but not because of them though.
That is true. Everyone's tied to the Patriots, even the Raiders, if you think about it. Just the Antonio Brown thing. But yeah, poor Rosen. I feel bad for him. This sucks. He's gonna get eaten fucking alive. And if he doesn't, that's the story of the week. That's the coolest thing that happens. If he even has a semi-decent game, that's the deal. It just he doesn't have anyone to throw to. They can't run protect or run block. They can't pass protect. They have no one to hand the ball off to anyways. They're going to get fucking smashed, man.
What a poor, unfortunate game for him to start as opposed to the Giants quarterback, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is their schedule doesn't get any easier. There's no right time to start Rosen. Their schedule is brutal.
Right.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Broncos at the Packers. I just don't trust the Broncos right now. The Packers at home still look good. The Packers defense ultimately was what's going to do it. So I think Packers at home. Easy.
Packers defense looks good. Packers run defense, similar to the Colts run defense, does not look good. And we got a 2-headed, I'm not going to call him a monster because Lindsey hasn't delivered, but Freeman is starting to emerge this year. A little flip-flop of last year.
Yeah.
Jay Cutler's had some really good moments in their losses and then some really mediocre moments in their losses. So it has more to do with him and those wideouts, but I think their defense is going to go tit for tat with the Packers here. I think this is going to be a close game. Like, I'm kind of with you, though. It's the Packers at home.
Yeah.
So
tough.
But this is like upset alert for me because Broncos can't start 0-3. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
1-2 and 0-3 are just a world of difference. So if there was a game where I'm like, there's going to be a fire under these guys' asses, it's this game.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'm still not going to pick them. I'm going to take the chalk.
Yeah, still want to win the pick'em. All right, Lions at the Eagles. I am taking the Eagles in this game, but actually to kind of mirror what you just said, if the Lions walk away with an upset in this one, I am not going to be surprised. I'm leaving this one open for the Lions to take it. I'm going to take the Eagles on it, but I am not going to be surprised if the Lions squeak away a win here.
Oh, you mean the undefeated Detroit Lions because they have a tie?
Right. I mean, they've
undefeated Detroit Lions.
Yeah, they surprised me in the last game. they've sometimes looked better than what I think they are. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not going to be 100% surprised, and obviously I can't get behind 100% on the Eagles yet. Even I mean, at home, I think they have that. Obviously, they have that home advantage, but I'm taking the Eagles. But if the Lions win, I'm okay with it.
I'm with you. I'm taking the Detroit Lions on the road.
Nice.
They impressed me with the Chargers' victory.
Yeah.
They did not impress me with the tie in
No.
Arizona at
No.
all. But the undefeated Detroit Lions,
Yeah.
they go to Philadelphia. Philadelphia doesn't have weapons at wideout right now. They're all still hurt. So you contain Ertz, you stop that young running game, you win that game.
Yep.
I got Detroit.
Nice. Ravens at the Chiefs. Candidate at least. I mean, I think honestly, very well could be the game of the week.
Oh, it is the game of the week.
I mean, I'm not sold on the Ravens yet. We've seen them beat two turds in week 1 and week 2. So
right.
This is the actual test for the Ravens. Like this is a big game going against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. With that, I mean, obviously, with that said, I'm going to take the Chiefs at home because Arrowhead is just one of those stadiums that it's hard to go in there and get a win. I'm actually really looking forward to this game because I want to see what the Ravens actually have. Maybe they do it. Maybe they go in and dominate. I mean,
I don't think this is going to be an either team dominates situation.
It's going to be close.
I wish we were sponsored by Hardee's because this would be the Hardee's Everybody Eats Game of the Week. Man, they should pick us up for that. Is our video stream still working, by the way? Have you checked Facebook?
I think so.
Okay, it's just not loading on mine because it's being a turd. Anyways, this is, for now, until Hardee's decides to sponsor us, this is Zach Swan's Everybody Eats Game of the Week. If you play fantasy football, take any fucking person on either team. Take Mark Ingram. Take Mark Andrews. Take Hollywood Brown. Take Robinson. I don't care who you got. Just take somebody on either team. Everybody's going to eat. It's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
I think the Ravens surprised everyone and went on the road.
Ooh.
In a game that's, I would call similar-esque to that Rams-Chiefs game we had last year on I believe it was a Sunday night, where it's just like who has the ball last.
Yeah.
Let's get weird. I have Lamar Jackson not giving a rip about the noise.
Yeah, it's
and just going in there and doing whatever he wants.
I do think, I mean, like where the Ravens do have advantages that Jackson is more mobile, is not that much more mobile. I mean, he's known for being more mobile than Patrick Mahomes, though, and the Chiefs still, I mean, they have a better defense than they did last year, but maybe that's where it ends up being, because Lamar can throw. He can throw, and it's going to be a shootout, but then also he does have that advantage of just being able to make stuff happen with his feet. I mean, maybe that's where they do it.
It also depends how cute Pat Mahomes is trying to be again, because he's played against a couple of turd teams, and so he's tried to get a little too cute with that no-look throw to Kelsey and a few others. I think it depends on how cute he's going to try to be. The thing is, Lamar's going to come in there. He's not going to play around. He's going to be all business all the time, and I think he's going to exploit – I think he's going to exploit the Chiefs' defense.
I think you're absolutely right on that point alone. So these two guys are playing for something completely different. Everyone has anointed Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in the league, basically. And everybody has not anointed Lamar Jackson as that. This guy wants to win. He wants to win games and prove people wrong. And that's sometimes enough motivation to make it happen. So maybe it's
honestly,
them.
I don't think they need the motivation. I think the team's just that good.
Yeah.
And as soon as I found out that Mark Andrews was playing this morning, I was like, okay, they have a complete enough roster to where they can go in there and have enough options. Not only that, but Mark Ingram is going to just totally eat the butt out of the Kansas City Chiefs defense.
Also, I'm going to throw in there that I'm going to be rooting for the Chiefs in this game. Not because I'm a Chiefs fan, but because the Steelers have had such a bad start this season. I just need the Ravens to lose some games. That's the simple fact of it for me.
Mahomes is going to have a good game, Sean Walters. We know that. We know these things. he's gonna be huge. But you know who's
Huge.
gonna be more huger?
Love it.
Lamar Jackson.
Raiders are going to Minnesota. I'm going to take Minnesota at home on this one. I just think the defense is going to be too much for the Raiders.
Or the league leading
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook, and not even close, I believe, at this point.
Yeah.
He's just going right up the middle and doing whatever he wants.
That's true, though. it's going to be. I think this could be a really ugly game for the Raiders.
I do not. I think that Kirk Cousins, one, piece of shit, two, has not done a thing yet this season.
No, he hasn't.
Thing. If Dalvin Cook doesn't just explode in the first two games, one, they lost last week, even with a Dalvin Cook performance like that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Two, oh man, the Falcons had to make some real turd plays to make that first game look like a blowout, by the way. It wasn't like the Falcons didn't move the ball. They had more yards than the Vikings did in that game. They turned the ball over in the red zone multiple times. So I don't believe in even the Vikings defense the way that you do. I think Derek Carr with that running game, and then Terrell Williams and their tight end can just go in there and put on a pretty back and forth type performance. I don't want to pick the Raiders because they're on the road, so I will also take the Vikings. But this would be one of those ones where
you're not surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised at all, and I'll probably be kicking myself for taking the Vikings because we all have too much faith in them right now, and Kirk Cousins hasn't done a damn thing. And the Raiders, all they really have to do is go out there and say, let's only worry about stopping Dalvin Cook.
Well, and then, the Raiders, if you really look at that lineup, though, the Raiders are one of those, they're officially not the worst team in the league, so that's nice for Raiders fans. But they also have an opportunity they could be a sneaky good team. I mean, really, realistically, they could. So it's just hard to tell with them right now.
But they need to fix that secondary because Pat Mahomes, anytime he went deep last week, it was there. So it makes you wonder if maybe this is the game Kirk Cousins can come out of his shell. He's got two wide receivers that can just take the fucking top off of defense. So pick one. Throw it to him. Don't be such a bitch the whole game, Kirk Cousins. God, he sucks.
The Jets are going to New England to face the Patriots, and we have two former WSU quarterbacks that are starting in NFL this week. Think about that. Gardner Minshew had a great week. Luke Falk is not going to. I think the Patriots are going to handily win this game. I don't have any doubt about it.
Luke Falk has single-handedly made me hate playing Le'Veon Bell in fantasy football because, especially if it's PPR, he just checks down to him like 15 times a game. That means you're guaranteed getting 15 points scored on you, then plus whatever yards he gets. It's driving me nuts. I will say I did pick up Jamison Crowder this morning. I don't know why he was on waiver wires. Y'all dumb. But dude had 14 catches in week 1. Yeah, Luke Falk didn't throw to him because they didn't have the chemistry in week 2, but I think they will this week. That being said, the Patriots, whether Antonio Brown was ever there or not, doesn't matter. Also, James White isn't playing. I don't think that matters. They're going to take the players they do have and go out there and perfectly execute a game plan. That being said, I'll root for the Jets in this game. Obviously, they're our team.
Yeah, same here.
This might be the first time in the history of us having a team either year where neither of us picked them in a week.
No, can't do it on this one. The Giants are going to Tampa Bay. This is obviously the toilet bowl game of the week, but
no. Okay.
But I'm well. Actually, maybe that might be the next one. Actually.
Yeah. I'm
never mind.
No, it's okay.
But
we can have different toilet bowls, bud.
Well, this one was toilet bowl game of the week, but now I'm interested in this game because Daniel Jones, and I'm gonna tell a narrative on this story, on this game. I chose the Giants to go to Tampa Bay to take a win because the narrative that I'm going to write in my own head, I want to predict it before ESPN or Sports Illustrated does, is that Daniel Jones goes to Tampa Bay and wins, and that's what the team needed. The team actually needed to get rid of Eli, not necessarily for Daniel Jones, but for literally anyone else.
Right.
And they go and they have Saquon Barkley. They have some offensive weapons there. Now they
I
have
think Evan
somebody.
Ingram is going to have a huge game.
Yeah, Evan Ingram. They're going to have somebody to actually throw to those people and hand off to those people and actually do things that are productive for the offense. I just don't think it's that far of a stretch to say that the Giants go in and beat the garbage Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm going with the Giants.
My problem is that Todd Bowles has that Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense
Yes.
playing with a little sauce,
Sauce.
right?
Yeah.
And they got a pretty damn good wide receiver core. So this comes down to here's a fucking narrative for you, by the way. Daniel Jones comes in there and very similar to Gardner Minshew, outperforming, according to the experts, outperforming Marcus Mariota.
Sure.
If Daniel Jones, a guy who many people scoffed at getting picked where he
Yes.
did, coming in there with a just 0-2 New York Giants team and outplaying Jameis
Yes.
Winston. That's a storyline if it happens.
Well, yes. And okay, so Giants fans are a lot like Eagles fans where they're big dumb dummies. And the same Giants fans who scoffed at Daniel Jones, if he does good on this, they're going to go out and buy Daniel Jones jerseys. They are stupid.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing is I don't know if the Buccaneers will have an answer for Saquon. Their defense looked good last week. It was very bend but not break, very Todd Bowlesy.
Sure.
I believe that was the Thursday night game last week.
Yeah.
They have had a lot of time to prepare, a lot of time to rest. They are at home. I don't like Daniel Jones on the road for the very first week, but I do agree that if they rally behind him, that makes a ton of sense, but I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Okay. Panthers at the Cardinals. You can go ahead and say it.
This is the freaking toilet bowl of the week. This game's dirt. It's lower than dirt.
I do not care who wins this game. That said, I do think that the Cardinals are going to pick up their very first game of the season against the Panthers. If they can beat any team, it's going to be the Panthers on the road with bad Cam Newton.
No Cam Newton.
No Cam Newton. Who's starting for him?
Cam Newton's not playing. Cam Newton's been ruled out.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what his name is. So the quarterback who is playing for them was a college teammate of Murray before either of them. Yeah, so before Murray moved to Oklahoma from Texas A&M.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was like his predecessor there, I guess you could say that.
Well, that's kind of cool.
It's interesting, but it's like Allen's. Is it Kyle Allen? I don't know why I can't remember this right now. It's absolutely driving me insane. But either way, Cam's not playing.
Someone chime in the chat.
Huh?
Said someone chime in the chat.
Yeah, I know. What the hell? I should remember, but his last name is Allen. I just can't remember if it's Kyle. But yeah, so former Texas A&M quarterback.
Okay.
It is Kyle Allen. I don't know why that took me so long to remember.
Okay.
He has had a start before. I believe he started in Week 17 last season.
Okay.
And yeah, he actually had a QBR of 94.4.
Good for him.
Which is an awesome. Yeah, it's like third all-time QBRs for someone's first start in the NFL.
Yeah.
So he might actually end up going out there. I mean, let's say Kyle Allen plays for a couple weeks and has a couple of good weeks. Eventually, they're going to give up on Cam Newton. I'm not saying for Kyle Allen, but for somebody. But yeah, I'll take Arizona at home because who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I have a feeling half of us are going to pick one team in this matchup, and half of us are going to pick the other. And
I forgot to.
None of us are experts on this game.
I forgot to mention this too. I want to rewind for 1 second back to the Jacksonville game. That stuff that came out about Gardner Minshew and all that crazy stuff he did in college. I texted you about this though, but it's a shame that the Good Place isn't on for one more season. Because they basically found Jason from the Good Place to be their quarterback. He's like authentic Florida Jacksonville trash water.
Yeah.
I love it. They found like their Florida man to be the quarterback. That's very funny to me.
I love it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when Nick Foles is fully healthy who has that job.
Yeah. But yeah, that's funny to me. It was just a funny narrative that they release all this stuff, just how crazy he was in college, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe they found like this Florida great. Like this weird, this weird guy to come into Florida and then act like he's from Florida. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's 100% perfect for the job. And even if he keeps playing the way he is, a couple hundred yards, no turnovers, they win some games. Why not give it to him? Because then you can separate yourself from that Nick Foles contract, which is a lot. But
yeah.
Also, I'm rooting for Nick Foles, so let me just say that.
Yeah, me too. Saints are going to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Honestly, I'm going with the Seahawks at home, but I'm still... I want to see Teddy Bridgewater do something in this game. I really do. That said, I'm going to go with the Seahawks at home.
I mean,
I want to win Pick'em.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks have looked fantastic. DK Metcalf has been just a real shining point for a couple of my fantasy teams. He just goes in there. He's a big boy, and he just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all know that. Weirdly, I like the Saints on the road in this. I like their defense. I am not just thinking Teddy Bridgewater manages and plays okay, but I think he gets a lot of relief from Taysom Hill, who, if he could run for one, pass for one, defense gets him one, because I believe they will. I believe that they go into this really scary Seattle environment and steal one on the road. I just don't see Seattle starting the year 3-0, and I don't see New Orleans starting 1-2.
Yeah.
They were a Super Bowl pick at one point in time for us.
Sure. Yeah.
Now it does all revolve around Sean Payton and Drew Brees, and half of that equation's gone. But Sean Payton's an amazing coach. If anyone figures it out, it's going to be him.
Absolutely. I'm not ashamed of your pick on that at all. Steelers in San Francisco. I told a couple people this week that I was leaning towards San Francisco because I want to win Pick'em. And I even said that if I felt like if I picked the 49ers, it would jinx them. It would jinx the 49ers and then give the Steelers a much-needed win. So that's my superstition even kicking in there. That said, last night I went through and I picked the Steelers. I don't care about my superstition. I'm not going to go against my team. I want to see what Mason Rudolph has to offer. Man, I miss Ben, but we finally watched Mason Rudolph go to Vance McDonald for a couple huge touchdowns.
Huge.
It doesn't, we're seeing what it looked like without Antonio Brown and having just Juju out there as the star. I still feel like the supporting players around him, like Washington and Switzer and a couple other people around him, can be dangerous. Mm-hmm. But going to Vance McDonald could be your other alternative there. I'm gonna take Mason Rudolph and the Steelers on the road this week.
I would say that's not crazy considering, I don't know if they just show this on a regular account, but if you have ESPN Plus Pick Center, it's 56% in favor statistically in odds of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
So they must be doing something right.
Oh.
Now 84% of the people who play this game picked San Francisco at home, which makes sense. But
I also like the addition of Minka, too. Fitzpatrick, too. I love that addition. The Steelers are showing they're at least getting behind Mason Rudolph. So, I'll take it right now.
Yeah, I just think using a first-round pick when you know you're probably going to have a bad season and trading it away for somebody who hasn't really lived up to expectations is sketchy.
Yeah.
Now they're going into next year without a first-round pick when their team is getting older and they're going to have players to replace. Now, if they were planning on drafting a safety/corner in the first round anyways next year, then that makes sense, but I hated it for that team. I knew someone was going to trade for Minka. I just didn't want the Steelers to be the ones to do it. That being said, San Francisco, I don't know who they're going to get the ball to this game. Although they've been doing it by committee and it hasn't really mattered so far. I guess let's give Shanahan some credit because he's got the offense playing good enough, and that defense has been lights out the first 2 weeks. It's hard to imagine a world where San Francisco starts 3-0 and Pittsburgh starts 0-3.
Yeah, I know, but
that being said, it's in San Francisco, and I picked the 49ers at home.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like I said, I had honestly taken the 49ers all week, but I just didn't. Last night I just didn't have the heart. I went and tinkered one more time, and which I shouldn't have done, but I just don't have the heart to choose against Pittsburgh.
This San Francisco team reminds me of the Kyle Shanahan Atlanta Falcons team that went to the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
I just am getting those vibes. I'm going to be picking them all season.
All right. Texans at the Chargers. This could very well be a good game, or this could very well be a terrible game. But I'm gonna take the Texans on the road against the Chargers.
I'm not even going to argue. I did too. I don't even know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, Chargers are showing a huge lack of offense. They can say that Eckler's filling in for Melvin Gordon because statistically it looks like it, but it just seems like Melvin Gordon created something else for them. And first year of them really not having a tight end for Phillip Rivers, you know, when Hunter Henry got hurt last year, they just went and got Gates back, and this year they didn't. And last week on the road, I believe in Detroit, it was like, who are they throwing the ball to? I'm scared to pick the Chargers right now.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to take Houston. I guess the one caveat to that is Houston going to have a running game at all on the road with Carlos Hyde, or are the Chargers going to completely shut him out and make it a passing game? This game could be ugly offensively.
Yeah.
Absolutely ugly.
Yeah.
I hope Phillip has a good game. I hope I regret taking Houston on the road.
Me too.
But I'm taking Houston on the road. But let's go Uncle Phil.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Chargers too.
Also, someone give Melvin Gordon money because I miss watching him play football.
Yeah, me too. Rams at the Browns in Cleveland. The Browns, they won a game, that's great, but they beat the Jets, so but also, they just show they have a lot of work to do on offense. I finally liked seeing Baker Mayfield connect with OBJ. I mean, it was fun to watch. It was cool to see. It showed a glimpse of like what the team can be, maybe. But they're just unproven. And the Rams are going to be my big I was wrong, I think. They're going to be my big I was wrong. I said before the season started, I don't think they sniffed the playoffs this year. I think they have a huge slump. I do still think they will end up having a slump in this season, but I do think they go to the playoffs though.
Yeah, they could be an early out in the playoffs, but they're making it. I think,
Yeah.
and I changed this on our show last week. I said the Rams win the division. I was dumb, had San Francisco winning the division and the Seahawks being a wild card team, or vice versa. Now I think just process of elimination, the Seahawks probably don't make it with a pretty good record. So I kind of feel bad for them.
This is once again a tough division, though.
I believe it's the toughest division in the NFC.
Yeah.
I don't know about all of football, but for sure the
Yeah.
NFC and possibly all of football. I have the Rams going into Cleveland and just doing whatever they want. We're gonna break a record on how many times we've said that on the show this week.
But there's a few of them this week, though.
I'm just not sold on Cleveland in any way.
No.
Any way at all. I never understood the hype. Never got behind it.
No.
Last year, even when they were on our team, or they were our team, I hated it.
Right. Yeah.
Because I just don't believe in these guys. I think the Rams are going to exploit it. I love the balance between Malcolm Brown and Todd Gurley now at running back. I love Cooper Kupp, man.
Yep.
That guy's next level. He really is. So.
Yeah, man, that's a good team.
And their defense is great. Their defense is probably even better than last year's defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Rams. So finally for Monday night. Oh, God. I don't care about this game. The Bears are going to Washington to play the Redskins. I mean, yay. I mean, I guess. I'm taking the Bears on the road, but I don't know. I honestly didn't know who to pick on this game. I flipped a coin and I took the Bears.
Washington's had a couple of close losses, right? Like, they don't look terrible.
Yeah.
Last week they did have to struggle to try to get back in it, but week one there was glimpses of them potentially winning that game.
Yeah.
Now Geis is hurt at running back. I don't think that's a huge deal because he wasn't really producing for them anyways. I have Washington winning at home 21-17.
Oh my God, I have the Bears winning 21-17.
Well, there we go.
Isn't that weird? We did
But
not talk about that beforehand.
No, we did not.
That's insane.
But no, I probably coin flip this game at one point in time during the week because I could see either team winning now. You would think after the hype of last season, everyone would just be completely sold on picking the Bears every week this year.
I was wrong on the Bears, though.
They don't look like the same team.
No, the Bears and the Rams are right now looking like I was wrong teams. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
I can still be wrong too. I can still be proved wrong.
Well, I would also say that a lot of the Bears not looking like potentially like a playoff team also has a lot to do with the Packers and Vikings currently.
Yep.
So we just talked about the NFC West, but wow, that's another really stacked division. And the Lions are in that division.
I was just gonna say
undefeated Lions.
I was just gonna say. I mean, we also just gave the Lions quite a bit of decent little credit there too. I mean, I don't know. That's not. I don't think any of those teams are a gimme, and I don't think any of those teams. I mean, the Lions are not the worst team in the league. Who's the worst team in the league? Let's on the count of
the Dolphins by a lot. We don't need to waste time on that.
I wanted to throw the Buccaneers in the mix.
Nah, man, it's the Dolphins and then easily the Cardinals too.
Oh, the Cardinals are bad.
Yeah.
I forgot about them. That's how bad they are.
Yeah. The Bucs. I like the Bucs coaching staff so much that I won't put them at the bottom. But I'd say talent-wise, they're bottom 3.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. So that's it. That's this week's Pickems. We wanted to get those out of the way before the first game starts, which is pretty soon.
4 minutes from now.
Yeah. So
we did it.
Yeah, we did. We did really good. We actually really cranked it out. Thank you everybody for listening to us last minute to see who our picks are for the week. We're gonna be back on. We're hopefully back on Saturday. So we can get you the full gambit. But I'm honestly okay with doing these quick old pick'em shows too. They're fun.
I had fun.
That was my favorite part of the show. So really. Although we didn't talk about Dragon Ball Z, so.
We didn't talk about Dragon Ball Z, and we didn't even get to talk about the new Blink album, and I'm okay with that.
It's
okay
50-50,
with all that.
right? It's 50-50.
Yeah, it's causing a real generational divide on the internet.
Speaking of generational divide, that is the hands down most disappointing track on that album. And it's not because it's bad, it's because it is so good. But it is 30 seconds long. It's one of the ones they did. It's like a 30-second song.
Yeah.
But you start listening to it and you're like, man, this is awesome. And then it just ends.
I love it. It's 40 seconds, by the way, and it's 40 seconds of pure magic.
But it's good. It's awesome. But I'm like, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, man, this is going to be a good track. And then, I mean, it is still a good track. It's just, it's 40 seconds long.
It's probably the only pop punk song Blink-182's made in 20 years.
Yeah, it ain't any of the other ones on the album. I will say a special shout out to Blink, though, because I do, upon listening to it even more after we talked about it, I think my favorite track on the album is Black Rain.
Oh, that's the only song that I even, besides for Generational Divide, only song I even acknowledge as being a song. The rest is, I don't know.
I still liked Blame It on the Youth and a few of the others. One of the other singles. I don't know about
I'm sure
that.
Blame It on the Youth will make a really good dubstep remix.
Yeah,
for Ernesto or whoever else.
Yeah,
make a track out of that.
I'm sure. Thank you everybody for listening to this week's show. We really appreciate anybody who takes the time to listen to us, especially on a Sunday morning, the day of our Lord and Savior Christ Jesus.
Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Everybody have a great day, and go Jets, I guess.
Hook 'em Jets.
Hook 'em Jets. I hope you do it. They're not gonna, but I hope you do. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, please.